Continuing on with communication, when we're communicating with individuals with disabilities, it's often helpful to provide choices. We'll discuss this in later videos, but self-determination is important for people with disabilities. Things are often decided for them, so by us providing different choices for activities to do, for example, we can help increase self-determination. This can be as easy as asking a child if she'd like to play with a stuffed animal or play with marbles during free play. Now, we can provide choices while still controlling the environment. We're not going to say to the child, hey, would you like to play Legos, or would you like to go outside and ride my motorcycle around the block? We're still controlling the environment, but by providing choices and increasing self-determination, we're also giving ourselves the opportunity to build rapport with that individual. And it's also another easy way to provide positive reinforcement and praise for that individual. They make a selection and you say, hey, great choice, let's go do that. Oftentimes, it can be very important to be both concise and concrete with our language as well. There's a couple different reasons for this. First of all, a lot of talk can be overstimulating. We talked about different stimuli sensitivities that some individuals may have, and hearing too much talking, too many words too fast or too loud, that can be overly stimulating for some individuals. Additionally, some individuals with disabilities, and some without in fact, have difficulty with multi-step directions. So by being concise and concrete and breaking down these directions into multiple smaller chunks, we can make things more manageable to process. Lastly, some individuals are very literal in their interpretation. We talked about struggling with idioms and sarcasm in past videos, and that helps us understand that we often need to be very literal as well. Many individuals with disabilities are visually or spatially inclined, so our communication often needs to be visual too. There's a model in teaching called I do, we do, you do, where if you're introducing a new skill, activity, or task, then you would demonstrate it first in front of everyone, that's the I do part, and then you would do it together, so the entire group does it, and then you do it individually after that. I do, we do, you do. This is scaffolding the instruction, providing a lot of support at first and lessening the support bit by bit to help that person find success. Now, it's so important to realize that for many people, behavior is communication. Behavior is communication. And in these moments, we need to understand, what is this person trying to tell me? What is the function of their behavior? Are they trying to seek access to materials? Maybe they're seeking access to peer or adult attention. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they're trying to escape materials or activities, or escape and avoid peers or adults. Or maybe there's a sensory component to it. There might be a light that is too bright, or a sound in the distance that is too repetitive for them. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a behavior right now, and that's tough, but what is the underlying piece to it? What is the function of the behavior? We'll close this video on communication by talking about some other modes of communication. Some individuals with disabilities utilize alternate modes of communication, meaning they may not communicate verbally, but in other ways instead. One example of this would be PECS, which stands for Picture Exchange Communication System. This is essentially utilizing pictures and visuals to communicate, and it can be easily replicated around our ministries in order to help facilitate communication. If we make pictures of different actions, eat, drink, bathroom, or pictures of different items around the room, then we can use those pictures to communicate. You can place those cards in front of an individual, and they can grab one, point to one, or even just look at one to indicate their wants and needs. Another way to simplify this is to provide choices with your hands, putting your hands out and asking, do you prefer this or this? And providing choices for that person to either point at or put their hand in yours, or simply utilize eye gazing to indicate their choice. Another simple yet effective alternate mode of communication is breaking things down into yes or no questions and answers. Lastly, some individuals with disabilities might come with their own AT, which stands for Assistive Technology. That may be a text-to-talk, an iPad, or other apps that help facilitate conversation as well. There are a lot of very important videos in this disability ministry curricula, but it's tough to rival the importance of communication. Communicating with individuals positively and effectively allows us to connect with people and meet them where they're at, and opens the door for very fruitful ministry with people moving forward.